Welcome for another prosperity pep talk. We are going to begin with lighting a candle. I am going live daily-ish for what I'm calling prosperity pep talks. These are short transmissions that are all about sacred leadership. And the way that I orient towards leadership is through matriarchy. So rather than hierarchy, we orient around soul purpose, around protecting and preserving and celebrating life, and activating your soul's work as a sanctuary for your calling, and bringing the sacred into the work part of your soul's work. I am so excited to be here with you today. If we haven't met, I'm Melanie Monaco. I'm an initiated priestess. I come from a lineage of spiritual leaders and female entrepreneurs. And so this intersection of sacred leadership is not only a passion of mine, but it is fully in my DNA. Today, I want to talk about joy. What inspired this is that I watched, right now at the time of recording this, the Winter Olympics are happening, and I don't usually pay attention much to the Olympics or even to sports. It's just not where my curiosity lands, but I do love figure skating. I love watching figure skaters. And so Alyssa Liu just won her gold medal, and I watched her routine, and actually my 4-month-old was watching it with me and was so intrigued by it. And there's a lot of rhetoric around how her joy in the process is what led to her medal. And it was reminding me of things that I gathered when I was in the performing arts. I went to a performing arts conservatory for high school, like a boarding school. And I did performing arts through college and a little bit after college, though it started I created an interdisciplinary women's artist collective that bridged the gap from performing arts and ritual. And then I realized, I can just do the ceremony ritual piece. So there was quite a pathway that brought me to this line of work. But when I was doing performing arts and I was performing regularly, one of the skills or lessons that I learned along the way was that those who are the most fun to watch are not necessarily those who have the best technique, but are those who are having the most joy. Like if you are watching any performance, right, whether it's figure skating or theater or music, or just somebody speaking, right? Those who are most engaging, those who you want to listen to the most, are often those who are expressing and, most importantly, genuinely experiencing the most joy in their craft. And this was something that my grandmother would always tell me. She'd be like, when you get up there, you need to sparkle. And that sparkle always came from a joyful place. And so I want to invite us as leaders to activate our inner sparkle, which becomes the magnetic force that brings people who need your wisdom and your message and your medicine into your ecosystem through joy. Like activate the sparkle through joy of sharing your craft, of sharing your message, of being inspired. Joy is accessible, especially if we're feeling nervous or anxious, because I work with so many healers and leaders and coaches who get really anxious about being on camera, who get really anxious about sharing what they do with people who aren't going to understand, who get nervous about launching their businesses or scaling their businesses, or being like, you know what, I know that if I'm going to reach the next level, a next level of visibility is what is required. Even for people who are already established in their businesses, they're like, I just need to show more of myself and share up more, or show up more and share more. Right now in specifically the online coaching industry, I'm seeing your comments come in. I did a public project about joy. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. I'm going to have to check that out. Specifically in the online personal development industry, whether it's in coaching or spirituality, the industry where we're existing right now, where you're existing even by being here in this prosperity pep talk, there is a trust recession. This is a term that a lot of the more even like higher elevated leaders with like massive audiences are talking about. And it's totally understandable as to why that would happen. The coaching industry has done a lot of good, and also, just like every other industry, has created a lot of harm. There have been unmet expectations. There have been promises that haven't been followed through on, and unethical behavior. We see this in every industry. I have had therapists do wildly unethical things. I have had doctors doing wildly ethical things. Even though the coaching industry is less regulated than other industries, that doesn't mean that it's more harmful. But we are seeing it, right? And because of that, there is a trust recession. And so a lot of people are understanding that in order to ensure your medicine meets the people who need it, it is required of us as leaders to show up more in authenticity so that trust can be established with more ease, right? If you don't know who is writing or sharing or creating the offering, it's really hard to, especially in this political climate, it's like, can I trust them? Do we have aligned values? Do we have energy that's coherent with each other, right? Because of that, people understand they need to show up and be seen. And that can be that visibility can be very scary, because the more you show up, the more possibility there is for critique and for making a mistake. But if you understand how to show up in joy, you are going to become magnetic to the people who are meant for you, and your message will land with more ease. So that is something that I wanted to bring today into our prosperity pep talk. Joy is a very profitable pathway to success in sacred leadership and entrepreneurship. And we just saw this happen in real time with Alyssa Liu in the Olympics, right? I encourage you, if you haven't seen her routine, please go watch it, because I was watching this routine and I found myself smile. Like, I didn't even realize I was smiling. Then I realized I was like, oh, I'm smiling, watching her have fun, right? We, especially if we want to counterbalance all of the fear and trauma happening on a mass scale. That's always been there, right? Like, but it's just very actively in the part of the conversation right now, and needs to be reckoned with, right? We have to understand and pay attention to things. I'm not saying bypassing. You understand, you know that I'm like very adamantly against spiritual bypassing, and there are a few things that rub me the wrong way quite as much as that. But one way to counterbalance it, right, is to intentionally bring joy into your life, into the world, into your leadership, so we can reckon with and do the shadow work, and also be joyful leaders, be bringers of joy to other people. Because what I experienced in watching this routine, right, she was having so much fun, and then suddenly I was having fun watching it. And my hope is that as a spiritual leader, all of us can begin to access greater joy in sharing our message, because we're excited to share our medicine with the world. We're excited to share our wisdom. We're excited to connect with people and grow a community. This isn't like, I'm so happy. You don't have to be joyful because people are paying attention to you. You're joyful to be in the process of cultivating connection. You're joyful to be in the experience of sharing things you're passionate about. And through doing that, you're going to become more magnetic, and your work will land with the people who are waiting for it. So that is today's prosperity pep talk topic. And if you want to go deeper, I would love to invite you into the Hearth. The Hearth is my temple of sacred leadership. It is just like it has all of the benefits of every business course or mentorship membership community out there, except it's structured like a temple, so that it's able to land the information, the strategies, the tools can land in a way that resonates with you as somebody who is committed to cultivating a spiritual relationship with yourself and with the world and with your clients. So we have daily devotional practices, which are ceremony, strategy. We have moon cycle ceremonies, full moon, new moon. We have initiation through archetypal embodiment. We have structured teachings with strategy and philosophy, how to create, scale, launch, market, sell, and offer. And we have the community where you're seen and held, and I am in there too. So I would love to invite you into the Hearth. We're still in our pre-sale phase, so you get a little bit of a discount right now until March 1st, so just for the next handful of days. I would love to invite you in. If you're curious to check it out, go to hearthtemple.com, send me a message. If you're on social media, go to the link in my bio. If you're listening or watching to this anywhere else, it's in the show notes. And I can't wait to see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow for another prosperity pep talk. Blessings to you.